Welcome to Python Basics with EJD. In this video, I'm still talking about Python packages, and here we are looking at SQLAlchemy for databases, or if you like, SQLAlchemy for databases. Like I said in the previous video, I have a whole playlist on SQL with Python, especially focusing on SQLite, right? But here I'm just doing an overview of SQLAlchemy. If what you're interested in is database management, then you can actually explore this to the core. I may not have the full functionality of this also, so feel very free to deepen your knowledge by checking the playlist on SQL with Python, right? So SQLAlchemy for databases, the introduction. SQLAlchemy is a powerful Python toolkit for working with databases. It provides a core layer, which is a SQL expression language for writing raw queries programmatically. Then we have ORM. We saw ORM when we're talking about, I think, Django or even fast API. Because of course, in web development, you also want to talk about database management because most times you have databases connected with websites. Okay, so ORM is Object Relational Mapper, which maps database tables to Python classes, making data manipulation more intuitive. Then SQLAlchemy supports multiple databases like PostgreSQL, MySQL, SQLite, Oracle, and MySQL Server. When I learned SQL for the first time in 2009, it was the days of Oracle. Like I think Oracle 9i, Oracle 10G, like that. Okay, so connecting to SQL databases now. First of all, the first thing is you want to install SQLAlchemy. As usual, you can use pip install SQLAlchemy. And having done that, the next thing you want to do is create an engine. I had it installed previously, so it may not take as much time it would have taken if I was installing the first time. So you see, it just tells me requirement satisfied like that. Okay. So the next thing you want to do is to create an engine after installing. Then you say the engine is, you need to understand that the engine is the starting point for any SQLAlchemy application. It manages the connection to the database, right? So what do you do first? If you want to do that, you need to, you so creating an engine, that's the focus here. So from SQLAlchemy, import create engine, right? Then example for SQLite. So if you're using SQLite, which I used a lot in the playlist for database SQL with Python, yeah. So example for SQLite engine is create engine. Then using SQLite, then you have SQLite, then example DB. So this database will be attached to this. The engine will be attached to this database example DB. So so I can just run this now. So if you're using PostgreSQL, you can use this. It's all done. If you're using MySQL and PyMySQL, you can have that too. And having done this now, okay, I created a cell that I don't need. I can just delete it. So if you check file, okay, we don't have example DB already. So, but I think by the time we create that DB, we can go there and check. So that the database that is. So testing the connection now. So now that you've created the engine, the next thing is you want to test the connection. So from SQLAlchemy, you want to import text. So with engine.connect as connection, then you now have your result to be connection.execute text select one. So then you can now print result.scalar. So this prints one if connection works. So I run this now and it prints one because the connection is actually working. So our connection is working. Okay. So having done that, we go for the ORM basics. Like we saw previously, ORM is Object Relational Mapper. So which maps database tables to Python classes, making data manipulation more intuitive. So we have ORM basics. So mapping tables to classes. So first of all, you import ORM tools. So the ORM tools are like this. So from SQLAlchemy.orm, import declarative base and session maker. Then from SQLAlchemy, import column, integer, and string. So we can run that. Okay, that's done. Once you see this green marker, it means it's done. The declarative base creates a base class for ORM models. Session maker handles transactions and queries. Then the next thing you want to do is to define a model, mapping the table to a class, right? So here now, we have base is declarative base. That declarative base we actually called from here from SQLAlchemy.orm. And we use object-oriented programming now. So you create a class, it's a user base, so underscore double underscore table name double underscore equals users, then table name in the database. So ID, so you have a users table now. So ID, you create the column, integer, its primary key. Primary key is that unique identifier for that user. Then you have the name, column, its string, nullable, false. So you have to impute it. Then auto increment means that after one, the next will be two, and so on and so forth. Then you have email, which is also string. Unique email has to be unique because those people should have the same the same email. Then it should not be non-label, meaning that you have to be anybody using the database must impute, anybody registering must impute their email for sure. Then you now define this double underscore REPR double underscore self. Then you return username, whatever the name has been supplied, and the email, and then we run this now together working. So we define the model. So this maps the user table to the user class. So at this point, let's check if we have our database ready. So let's check here. Yeah, you see, we have our example database ready now, so it's now done. Okay, so now, creating tables. How do you create tables? So to create tables, there you have base.metadata.create underscore all engine. So this creates all tables defined by ORM models. So I run this now and then it's done. Now, working with a session. What about working with a session? Working with a session is like you open the database, maybe you want to do CRUD stuff, like you want to create, you want to read, you want to update or delete. So working with a session, setting up a session now. So to set up a session, you have session equals session maker, bind equals engine, session is session. You run this to get it going. Then you want to add a record. Say you want to add new user, user name is Alice, email is alice.example.com. Of course, this is not a real email. Then you have session.add new user now. So this new user you have it, you have that. And then you have session.commit. So in that session now you're adding Alice. And once you do that, then after that, now you now want to query the records now. So it's more like you have put information into that database. So you now want to query the record. So in this case now, you can then have fetch all users. Now users is equal to session.query user all. So print users, fetch a single user. So if you print, okay, well, I think that I'm trying to see. What if we can as well still have okay, maybe if we have this new user now, I create another one and I do this, I paste this, and I say new user one, say, and then it's Emmanuel, all right? Then I add another pseudo email. Let me just say this is ejd@example.com. This is not a correct email, by the way, so not a worry. Then I have this now. Okay. I copy this and bring this. Then I also say add new user one. So in this case now, that's okay, underscore. So, and then I can commit that to, oh, something is wrong here. Okay. Yeah, of course, we know our go-to place. What can be wrong? New underscore user underscore one. Session add. Okay, let's correct this using AI. Correct error. Correct error. Maybe there's a better way to do this. But I think this should have worked. Okay. Okay. Because, yeah, okay, I get the gist now. So we have to start afresh because the database was already made. So if we now come here, okay, now I get the gist. So the database is already set and it was already committed. But I mean, if you want more on this, you can check the playlist. So let's just work with what we already had before. So I don't prolong this unnecessarily. So, but if you want more clarity on this, just check the playlist on the. Oh, okay. This was already done, so that's why it's not answering again. So now we fetch all users. So user equals session.query user all. So in this case now we query it for, okay, now I get what's happening. I guess we have to restart the whole thing. Restart the whole thing. So restart session, fresh. Okay. So now that you have restarted, I may have to go and delete the database. So when you working with database is a bit is trickier than working with regular data sets, because here now things are different. So I can clear out this. Okay. So again, I come here, run. Okay. Then here I run this. Okay. Then testing connection. I run this also. Then ORM basics. I run this. Then here, defining a model, mapping it class. We do this. Creating tables. We've done all of this before. Okay. Then creating a session. We have this. Let me just work with what we have here. So we have this. Good. So now the database, I deleted it before, so it should be back there already now. So let's just go on. So querying records now, you say you now want to so to query the record, you have username, name, Alice, and all that. So this is for fetch all users, but we have only one user. So if you fetch a single user, you can specify the name. That's what we have like that. Then you can also update the records. So maybe you now have Alice is session.query user, filter name by name, Alice, filter underscore by name, Alice first. Then you now have alice.email is now alice underscore new at example.com. Instead of having the alice at example.com, you want to replace the old email with this alice underscore new at example.com. So that has been committed. So if you delete the record, so in fact, if we go back here, we might have a new email address for Alice. If you run this again, yeah, so you can see we now have Alice underscore new because we have updated the information from here, right? So deleting records, you can actually delete records too. You can say Alice equals session dot query user filter underscore by name Alice first session, delete Alice. So you don't want to see Alice in that again. So if having done that, if I come back here, I won't see Alice in the database again because it's been deleted. All right. So I have to start again and put it back. So this is just like an overview, but thankfully I have a whole playlist on data SQL with Python. So just check it on my playlist. Go to my channel, click on playlist, and then you see it right there, and then you can enjoy. So you have 11 videos that covers every aspect of SQL you may want to know. So some key takeaways is that we have an engine which handles connection to the database. So without the engine, you cannot connect to the database. We have a base and ORM models, which define tables as Python classes. Then we have session, which provides interface for adding, querying, updating, and deleting records, like what we call for short CRUD, CRUD. So create, read, update, and delete. And we have SQLAlchemy, which bridges Python and SQL seamlessly, enabling both raw SQL and both raw SQL control and ORM convenience. And with this, we come to the end of this introduction video to the whole idea of SQLAlchemy. Don't forget that you can have access to all my code sheets, all these code sheets. You can get it if you click on the link in the description, either on Facebook or on YouTube. And then you can, in fact, what I always recommend is you download them first and follow step by step. And that way you can get used to some of these things, especially if you're interested in learning SQL with Python. So you just first thing you do is go to the description box, click on the Google Drive link, and then download all the code sheets. And then as I walk, in fact, you should have like two devices, maybe like a phone to see what I'm doing, and you have your own computer to follow step by step. So as I do something, you can create a new cell and try it out, and that's where you learn better, right? So let me know how helpful this video is for you. And if there's something else you'd like me to try out, feel very free to let me know. All right. If you have not subscribed already, of course, you're missing a lot. So you want to go ahead and subscribe right now. And having done that, you want to hit the notification bell so you can always get alerted each time a new video is released. After that, you want to take it a step further. You can become a member of the channel by clicking on join, and you see 3 levels of membership with special privileges. So you want to make avail yourself of the opportunity. So once you have done that, don't forget to comment, like, and share so that more people can have access to the great content I have going on here. Till I come your way again, keep doing Python right. Bye.